Welcome back to another episode of Banggood stuff. In today's video, I will take a look at the DIY water level sensor kit. As usual, let's start with some reviews. Let's look at a good review first. Kager wrote that the PCB was good and all other parts, except for the capacitor, were good as well. And now a negative one. Fobblestad said that this relay didn't work, but he also stated that the packaging of the product was good. So, is this a nice useful kit, or is it just another bunch of cheap components in a bag that won't serve any purpose after assembly? Well, there's only one way to find out. So here it is. Let's take a look at the contents of the package. First, there is the PCB, then there is this big electrolytic capacitor, 2 screw terminals, 5 diodes, a transistor, more capacitors, a red LED, a bunch of resistors, a connector for the probes, an IC with its socket, and the relay. The manufacturer kindly provided these cables with a connector on one end, which served as the probe that goes into the water tank later. So let's take a look at the PCB first. It's a single-sided board with a really nice and sharp silk screen. All the text is nice and sharp and everything is well labeled. The other side is not that bad either. It's not as nice as the kits I've reviewed so far, but it's good enough. The edges of the solder mask are not that sharp around the pads, for example, and some of the pads are quite small, which makes this harder to solder than it has to be. But other than that, the overall quality of the PCB is really good and everything looks fine. Now let me show you that IC. It's a standard 555 timer, so nothing special. The datasheet for this part can be found in the description of this video. Another thing to note is that this kit came with instructions. That's the first time one of these cheap kits reached me with proper instructions. Unfortunately, the text is written in Chinese. If you can read the text and you would like to have this document for reference, I've put a download link in the video description below. If you would like to see this kit being put together, click the info card in the top right corner of this video now. Overall, the kit was really easy to assemble, so even unexperienced hobbyists should be able to put it together. So let's test it. For this test, you will need water. Combine it with electricity, which makes a great combination, and get the water sensor ready. The way this water level sensor works is that it has 3 wires attached, which serve as the probes. One of them remains in the water all the time and the other 2 are used to indicate either a high water level or a low level. One of the probes will trigger the relay when it touches water, so this is the high level indicator. And the other one will trigger it when there is no water, which means that it is the lower level indicator. The board obviously serves as a switch, and you could connect something to the second screw terminal, for example a pump. Now let's do a quick recap. The overall quality of the shipped parts was good, and the kit worked right out of the box. However, the instructions were in Chinese only, and the product was poorly packaged. Overall, I would rate this with 5 stars, and I can tell you, if you need one of these switches, go ahead and buy it. But keep in mind that this was only a very short test and I cannot tell you how the switch will hold up with time. So, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.